Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's my favorite time of year. We're coming up on Halloween and I'm starting my DIY so I'll be ready to decorate in October. Let's get crafting. For project number one, I'm going to be using one of these little pumpkin boxes, a cutting board, and some black paint. And I've always wanted to do like a haunted, scary, like cutting board, so this was perfect. I gave this plastic cutting board from Dollar Tree just one coat of black chalk paint. I didn't really focus on the center of the cutting board because I knew I'd be covering that. And then I ripped the pumpkins off of this little pumpkin box, I guess. I'm not crate, I don't know. But both pumpkins came off. You just have to be a little careful. Apply a little pressure, but you don't want to ruin the pumpkins. And then you're left with this piece, which I thought looked like a great table. So I sanded the glue off of the pumpkins. I'm only using the one that has the cutout in it. The other one I set aside for a future project. And then I proceeded to paint that pumpkin in that black chalk paint as well. I then went to my favorite online resource, Google Images, and I just Googled vintage newspaper, and these are what I found. That I'm going to save for a future project, but the smaller one I thought would be perfect for this cutting board. I printed it out. I think it printed 4x6, and I put it in the center and just used my finger to kind of push it in and make a little line so I would know where to cut. I needed 2 of these 4x6 images for my cutting board. I grabbed my Mod Podge, which I wish I really need to go invest in just some glue sticks. That would have probably worked a little better. I don't have any, and I never think to grab them when I'm at Dollar Tree. So I had Mod Podge, and that's what I'm going to end up using. So I just put some Mod Podge down on the cutting board, and then I put the 2 printouts, one at the top and one at the bottom. Because it's printer paper, I knew if I put Mod Podge on the front of it, it would make my ink bleed. So I was trying to be careful, but then I realized I could come around the edges with it and it would bleed the ink just a little bit, just to give it that like hint of spookiness. I really don't know how to describe it. It gave it a really cool effect, and not so much distressing, but it just bled the ink around the edges and made it look really creepy and scary. I went and grabbed my hair dryer and I just dried this until the Mod Podge was thoroughly dried. I grabbed my pumpkin, added some hot glue to the back, and attached that to the center of the cutting board. It is so cute. This will go great in my kitchen with maybe some potion bottles in front of it. And I absolutely love the newspaper behind it. I just think this is super cute for Halloween. So for the next project, we're going to be using 3 of these homes from the Dollar Tree and 3 more Google images of ravens. I love ravens for Halloween. I'm using black and plaster paint, And then we're just going to paint the back of these because that little plaque is almost impossible to remove. So I'm going to cut the twine off of the front, and I'm going to save that little wooden bead because it's a perfectly good bead and we can use it for another project. And I'm going to do this on all 3 houses. Two of the houses I'm going to paint black. I'm doing the back of the house, not even worrying about that tag because it's going to be covered. And I'm painting the sides of the house. I only needed 1 coat. And then on the other house, I am going to be using the plaster and Waverly paint, and I'm going to paint one of the houses white. That one I did need to add 2 coats of paint to. Now I'm going to come in and grab that center piece. This is the piece that the 2 pumpkins were attached to, and it just screams little table to me. And I thought this would be great to paint all in black and use it to put one of these homes on. I came back in with the paint that I still had on my brush, and I just highlighted around the white house, but this step actually we're going to need to do later. And then I flipped it over onto my printout and positioned it where I wanted the crow, how I wanted to cut out the crow, or the raven. It's not a crow, it's a raven. But I messed up, and I did not realize I messed up until I got the 3rd one cut out. So this is the wrong way to do it. How you want to do this is you want this house facing up. And trace it that way. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why after I traced it and cut it out, it still didn't line up. And it's just because the peaks just aren't the same size. So you want to have your house facing up and trace it that way, and it will come out a lot better. And I wish I would have realized this before I had all 3 of them done, but live and learn. Adding some Mod Podge to the front, I put the print out on the house. And now I came back in with some black paint. I highlighted around the edges. The original way where I had painted around the edges originally would have worked if my printout would have been cut out correctly. But since it wasn't, I came back in to hide that area where you could really see that it didn't match up onto the house. It still came out cute. I just love ravens. I love decorating with ravens during Halloween. I love decorating for Halloween just because you can make your house mystical and magical and decorate in a way that you wouldn't normally, of course, have your house decorated. I love bringing out my spell potions and bottles and my apothecary jars and just giving our house that spooky vibe that we get to enjoy for a whole month in October. So it's just so much fun for me. So I used my second Google printout, and this one was smaller and it was a box, and I thought that would be really cool just to have it just like that so that all 3 of these houses would be different. And I just used my scraper and got the excess Mod Podge from the back of this because I didn't want Mod Podge on the whole house. I didn't want these to be shiny. And then did the same thing with my 3rd image and cut it out, used Mod Podge, and put it on the front of the house. So cute, so easy to make. If you're not a huge Raven fan like I am, you can use any printout on these houses for your Halloween decor. I absolutely love ravens for Halloween. I am so excited. October's right around the corner and we got to get these DIYs done so we can start decorating. I love y'all. I hope y'all are having a blessed and wonderful day. And if you liked what I showed you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for future notifications. And if you really liked what you saw, hit that like button because it really helps out my channel tremendously. I hope you guys love Halloween as much as I do because the next few weeks I have more Halloween DIYs to share with you. Have a blessed and wonderful day, guys. Love y'all. See you again soon. Bye.